Welcome to Stuck Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with BusinessRiff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. I'm very happy we have an investor with us today, Hall Martin from 10 Capital, and we're going to be talking about early stage diligence and what goes into the success of that. Thanks for coming, Hall.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having me,
having me,
Mary.
Mary.
Looking
Looking
forward to
forward to
catching
catching
up.
up. Yeah. So, what kinds of things constitute diligence for a startup?
So,
So
investors are
investors
going to
are
be
going to be
looking
looking
for
for
information
information
about the
about the
deal.
deal.
They'll
They'll
see your
see your
pitch
pitch
deck,
deck,
which
which
is
is
your
your
initial
initial
proposal,
proposal.
but they're going to start to want to learn more about it and what's behind the pitch deck itself. For example, what kind of legal entity do you have? Is it a Delaware C? Is it an LLC? What do we have here? And there's tax implications and there's control implications that come with that. The next thing you're going to be looking for is, the cap table. Who else is in the deal and how much do they own and how much equity is left for the rest of us? And they want to see what that looks like. Then they're going to start looking at the financial projections. If you raise the amount of money you're proposing to raise, what do you predict will come out of it? I will tell you, people don't like doing financial projections and they say, well, I can't predict the future. Well, here's the secret that you may not think about. What investors are really looking for is how much do you know about your business? Are you putting big round numbers, $1 million raise, $1 million revenue, $2 million the next year, and so forth? Or do you have more specifics behind it? Do you know what things cost? Do you know what you can sell it for? And there is really a Rorschach test to see how much you know about your business. So this is what people are doing in the diligence process is trying to size you up a little bit to figure out who are we dealing with here and how much homework have they really done with it. Next, they're going to be looking at the revenue, not just, there's a saying that not all revenue is the same. Is it recurring? Is it repeating? What kind of margins do we have? How long is it going to last? There's lots of factors that go into it. So you're going to start looking to see how strong that revenue is. Oh, by the way, if you don't have revenue, we may be a little bit early if we're going out raising funding beyond family and friends. It may be hard and you should expect that. So these are some of the initial things that people look for when investors look for when they look at a startup coming in is the basics of it to really get the context. Where are we with it? Where on the curve are with it? Because what investors are doing is they're trying to pinpoint where you are today. Are we just starting? Or are we further down the road? And they're drawing a line from here out 5 years. And then what falls out of that is your fundraise requirements. Who do you have to hire? What do you have to do what costs you have to incur in order to achieve that revenue? And they're trying to see, is that a realistic picture? And so some entrepreneurs don't want to tell you where they are today, but that's a mistake because if I can't figure out where you are right now, I really can't draw that line out 5 years to figure out where you're going to be and then start to get conviction that, yeah, that's a doable deal. So that's the question we're trying to answer. Is this a good decision? Is this a good path that they're taking? And do I believe that they can make it? So it's all about confidence building in the due diligence report. The other thing they're looking for is evidence that other people are supporting you. I had people come to me saying, hey, I didn't put money in. My family didn't put money in. Nobody bought anything. No one else would give me money back home. How about you? Well, this is not the story they want to hear. They want to hear that you put money in, your family put money in, people bought things, other groups wanted to come in. So you're demonstrating support for the business, and support equals credibility. And so as you put that together, people start to realize, oh, you got a lot of support behind you. You're achieving success along the way, not just waiting for a lucky home run hit with one investor because that's really not going to be the basis of a successful investment in most cases. So those are some of the concepts that we need to get across when we go into this.
Sure. And one of the things that's come out of this is that you absolutely have to be honest with an investor. You're better off telling them the truth and having them say, you're not ready for me yet, but you'll have more chance of getting money once you're further down the line. So be honest with investors and be honest with yourself about how much will it actually cost to hire that extra person? Which extra people do you need to hire and why? Where is your business actually going in the next 3, 6, 12 months?
Right. And so, yeah, some people avoid answering the question, but the better strategy is to answer the question with a compelling answer. Here's where we are, and here's what we're going to do next, and here's why we are where we are. So they're looking for people that really understand their situation. They understand the market, they understand the customer, and they're dealing with it now. They're not just glossing over. They're really trying to figure out how are we going to sell to that customer that's already locked into the other one. They're trying to figure out how we're going to build that product when we don't have all the resources that we need. And maybe they're rescaling and rescoping the product so they can get something to market to kick it off. And that's what you're looking for is, a demonstration that they make good decisions in challenging environments. And if you can surface that and show that, that starts to build confidence in them.
Sure. And if there isn't any revenue yet, if you've got letters of intent, notes from people who say, we want to buy this at this price when it's available, or orders from a big company saying, we'll sell this product once you deliver it. That way you've got some credibility that there's going to be revenue in the future if there isn't any right now.
It shows that you talk to customers. If you don't have any customer feedback or you can't put up any logos, then it's very hard. I always tell founders, don't show up to the investor empty-handed. Every time you show up, you should have something related to a customer. Even if it's, I talked to a customer and they have this problem. I went back and I proposed a solution. They said they were interested. And then I went back and they bought into my 50K investment to pilot test it and so forth. This is the story they want to hear because the customer is involved in the process. If we do everything without a customer and they don't see it, this is a red flag because you're building something in a vacuum, and those rarely work out well.
Right. You have to be solving a problem that's real for customers, that you've heard from customers say, yes, we're willing to pay you to solve this problem. That's part of validating the idea in the first place, right?
Well, absolutely. Now, there's lots of problems to solve, but will they pay for it, and how much will they pay for it? I found many people build a solution to a problem they had, and then found out, well, they really aren't going to pay me what it's worth to go build this thing. So, good to know now, not too far down the road. But that is a distinction that some people have problems that they're just not going to pay any money for. So you have to, there's an old saying, you don't want to build a vitamin, it makes you better. You want to build a painkiller, something that if a painkiller comes up, they're suffering enough that they will pay. Vitamin, well, maybe I do, maybe I don't. So you're always trying to figure out which one do we have here.
What's one big mistake a startup makes when they talk to you?
In the early days, it was they treat me like the customer. They treat the investor like they're going to buy the product, and they're sitting there, and out of 10 minutes, nine minutes is about the product, how it works, and how to use it, and why it's great, and all this other stuff. And leaving 1 minute to let's see, the team and the financials and the competition and the market size and all the other things that you need to know. So you have to, put in a certain amount of time for the product, but then equal amounts for the rest of it, because they want to know that you thought through all the rest of it as well. Is the market big enough? How can we be competitive here? What are we going to do that the competition can't just copy the next day after they see it? And what are we doing to build a team? And who are the right people on the team as well? So these are the things we have to start thinking about blending because they are looking for a more holistic picture.
And what is the investor going to get out of the investment?
That's a good point. Have you taken the time to actually calculate out a meaningful exit and based on the investment today, what kind of return that would get if you were to exit in a 3, 5, 7 year time frame, which is where they want to live, and come out with something. So that shows a little bit of forethought if you actually do that.
Excellent. Thank you so much. These are all great points, and startups need to pay attention to diligence. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. And one of the best things you can do to get there is book a call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.